Hey, boo, hey. So, Love and Marriage Huntsville came back on last night for season 10, episode 6, titled Martell No Lies. And in this, we have the continuance of Nell and Tisha hashing it out on when Tisha blew up on Fletcher at Trisha Ken's party. Now, I feel that this deserves to be acknowledged, so shout out to Tisha for coming back. That is growth. Tisha got up and left after it looked like her and Elle were not going to reach any type of agreement. And so she got up and left. But she came back. And that is growth for Tisha. Because Tisha would have just left, called somebody, and told them everything while cussing Elle out simultaneously at the same time. Now, Nell is upset because she feels Tisha was in Fletcher's face at the party. And Tisha is upset because Nell feels like she was all up in Tisha's business, marriage business, at the party and everywhere else. Now, I do feel where Tisha is coming from because ever since the beginning of time of this show, everyone has had an opinion about her marriage to her husband. And here comes Nell, who's supposed to be a friend, a woman of a particular age who should know better, wants to come and ask these same questions, these same tired questions that has been asked since the beginning of time. Mind you, in Nell's defense, that is quite the thing. This question has been asked since the beginning of time, and we still have no answer. But let's think about it. What is the answer that we're looking for? Everyone at this point has made up their mind whether or not Marceau is a cheater or not. So I don't feel at this point him even telling us or us getting the proof would do anything, because there are still some people who are going to believe what they want to believe. Period. And Marceau is going to continue to act the way that he does because he kind of gets off on this. You would think at this point that he wouldn't get off on it anymore, but it seems like he might still do. But I can tell that Tisha is over it. And her getting upset with Nell is a prime example of that. Because now you are in this friend group. You know how this goes and everything. So why are you bringing it up anyway? But Nell does this. This is what Nell does. She gets far way into the business than she should. All right? But however, also, Nell asks the questions that we want to ask. But we don't ask because we know it ain't our business. Nell don't care. Nell gonna get in it. Nell is gonna do her mentor thing. Y'all, we also find out that Nell is a certified mentor. Certified mentor. And I did not know that. Tisha did not know that. Nobody knew that. How come nobody knew that she was a certified mentor? Now, she's also a certified daycare giver, because though she got daycares, how come we never see the daycares? Huh? I would like to see a daycare. We are seeing Kimmy in her office a lot more this season. Why aren't we seeing Nell in hers, at her spots? Just wondering. Oh, and then that whole thing about Chris getting his license revoked. Honey, we're going to have to find more about that and get into that. But I heard, have you heard? It's a lot going on in these Love and Marriage Huntsville streets. I opt out of all of that, and I come dip in once in a while. Like I went and dipped in the pond the other day, and I see my homegirl Marcella going off with Miss Wanda. I don't know what's going on, y'all. It's so much. But anyway, at the end of this conversation, they agree that they can try to be cool, but we all know this is not going to go anywhere. Maurice rolled up to Kimmy's office. Like I said, every time Kimmy is having a scene, I love it that we are seeing her in her office. We seen Jalen come visit her at her office last week, and now Maurice is here this time. And I love this for her. We are seeing her do her thing. This is the black excellence we want to see. But anyway, during this scene, Kimmy clocked the tea that perhaps Martell, doesn't respect Maurice enough to take advice from him. But I'll say this, though. I feel that Martell does respect Maurice in different aspects. But I don't feel that he respects him in this aspect. Simple to say. But it is true. When someone doesn't respect someone, they are not going to listen to someone, take any criticism from someone. Really, you're just not. In this scene, when Tisha and Marceau are talking, she's talking about the whole thing that went down with her and Nell and all of this stuff. Marceau brings up Destiny, and it got me to thinking, does Marceau like Destiny at all? Because it feels like he just ain't checking for Destiny. The fact that I feel because Destiny is still Martell's friend, decided to, consciously stay his friend, take his side in all of this. And all I can say is that's what a real friend does. You're gonna stick by your friend. Now, she may be feeding Martell to the wolves privately when it's just them two, but as a friend, as a real friend, she's gonna show up and have his back. And I respect that about her, because that is just like any other case. You have your person's back in public, but, let them know what's really good behind closed doors. And I like that. And I hope that is what this is about, honestly. I really hope she is telling them. And I feel like she is, because she ain't fucking with it. So I know she's like, you see, I ain't fucking with it. You need to stop fucking with it. And I hope that he will take her advice soon. The Fletchers went out shopping for them grandbabies in this scene, and all I get from this scene is that Nell is still in Marceau and Tisha's marriage, and the interview obviously wasn't enough for her. It wasn't enough for me either. That interview was some bullshit across all parts of the board in every which way, to be completely honest. Like, Martell, what the fuck were you doing? Honestly. But again, like Tisha said, like, everybody be coming for your marriage too, Nell, so you should know better. You know how Tisha is going to feel when you come for her, so why are you doing that? You meant to be mean, I feel. That's why I'm like, is Nell a mean girl this season? I'm trying to figure it out. This whole scene with Martell and Maurice. Okay, Maurice explaining himself in his DUI, talking about he don't hit an animal, a pole, and a something else. Like, what went on? Why are we just now learning all of this? But Maurice the lawyer came to this sit down, and he was really trying to clock Martell, for real. Asking him questions like a lawyer, trying to get to the bottom of like, you ain't about to put me in this. But Martell did admit and apologize that he had to get a stray bullet, because all that smoke was meant for Marceau. And he actually said that if Marceau would have called and apologized and all of that, he would have never went forward with the interview. And Marceau, now I'm going to just have to blame you for not apologizing, because I need somebody to blame for this hideous shit that we all sat down and watched. But Martell was upset with Mo because he felt that he could have stepped in as far as Marceau being his brother and was like, hey, check your brother. But when Martell was like, hey, what part wasn't true, Maurice looked like he ain't have nothing to say. And so I still don't know what to believe on this situation. When Mo, Kimmy, and Marceau sat down, Maurice made sure to tell and make sure that Kimmy heard that he confronted Martell. Martell admitted that he caught a stray and he wasn't part of this. Look, anything out of this, Maurice is trying to clear his name. This has nothing to do with Martell and what he did. Maurice is trying to clear his name, and there's nothing else you can tell me. All right? Nothing else. But that was the last scene of the episode. That is what happened this episode. What did y'all think of this one? And I'll holler at you next time.